Welcome back, party peoples.
We back, baby.
Yes, sir, to yet another edition of the Hitch and Hook podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes,
of
sir.
course, y'all know who we are, but we just gonna do it again, just for y'all.
And for the new ones that have
come
to our domain.
Well, we're your boys, of course. I'm Nick Ransom.
I'm Jamar Smith. Jump the gun.
And of course, this is our show,
You know.
the Hitch and Hook podcast, where all we going to do is talk football, bring you back to reality from the bullshit you got to say out your mouth, but come with facts. That's what we do here.
Purely.
So without further ado, I'll send it off to my man Jamar, because a lot's going on within the last 7 days since we last been seen with you
guys. If you don't already know, we are 1 week away from the NFL draft. This NFL draft, as you know, has a plethora of rookies ready to get into the game.
Tons of them.
And we've had numerous mock drafts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's so much to get into. But, you know, that's not our style. We don't just jump right into what everybody else is talking about. We like to take our time and talk about what we want to talk about, what y'all need to know.
So we basically hitch and we hook, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
But still.
Just like the title says, I believe. Yeah, just like the name says.
That's a route that's always going to win, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, before we get into that, we're going to stay right here at home in the hometown of Baltimore.
Ooh.
And we're going to talk about Lamar Jackson. I know everyone's getting real sick of the will he, won't he, is he going to stay for a long time, is he going to sign the contract?
Why hasn't he?
Why hasn't he? That's the big one. And then some people are just over it. They're ready to be done with him. But it has been reported that the Ravens did offer Lamar a $200 million deal long term. We don't know the details of the contract. All we know is that it was worth up to $200 million, or worth $200 million for a long term. Now, I'm scratching my head on this because isn't that what he wanted?
I was just about to ask you that.
I
So I have questions, Coach.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. How can I help you?
So, it sounds like, and I guess they did confirm, as you just said, that the Ravens did offer him a long-term $200 million deal, correct?
Yeah.
Now, I don't even know, like he said, we can't stipulate on how long-term that actual deal was for him to run away from it, but I'm pretty sure that would have made him the highest paid quarterback, right?
I believe so. It stands to be that he would have been the highest paid.
Even at say it was a 4 or 5 year deal, $200 million guaranteed. Y'all do the math. Still makes him the highest paid quarterback. Now, this is what gets me. So this is where my brain kind of goes at this point. We hitch and we hook, don't we? I then asked the question, why would he turn down that deal? Or at least not jump on it at that moment? Now, if someone wants to be with the team for the duration of their career, for that amount of money, wouldn't they have jumped on it?
Yeah, and they'll make sacrifices. If you really want to play for a team that you love and a city that you adore or claim to adore, you do whatever it takes to sign a contract. You might not shortchange yourself, but you will accept certain things that you probably wouldn't accept in other places.
Gotcha. So what do you think the reason was for him not taking that deal? If that was on the table, as they said, it was confirmed the Ravens offered it. So if it was confirmed that the Ravens offered this long-term $200 million guaranteed deal, what reasoning do you see Lamar and his camp not wanting to take that deal?
It has to be based on whatever the incentives are on this contract. It has to be what you have to do in the organization to receive X amount of money. And the biggest one, it's got to be the amount of games. Because they've talked about him being injured the last 2 years, and that's why nobody wants to sign him, and X, Y, Z. It has to be because they need him to play probably 17 games. You probably have to play the entire season to get a large chunk of this $200 million.
So is that his fault, though, that they have no offensive line, has the worst or bottom 5 ranked running offense in the league, running back offense in the league, can barely throw the ball? And let's keep in mind, scheme the ball just as well as Matt Patricia did with the Patriots last year. It's his fault he can't stay healthy.
It's not, but I want to talk to your point about the running backs. I think it's more so the scheme that they were dealing with what was the
Marty.
Yeah.
Morning Wig.
Yeah, I feel like with him, it's the same as when he was coaching Colin Kaepernick
in San Francisco.
They were great his first year or two, and then it all faltered because he doesn't know how to make adjustments to his offense. All he knows is he knows how to run the ball and be run PR. He knows how to do all of that.
So you just confirmed. You just said it. You just said exactly what I was thinking as the reasoning being for Lamar not taking it. I feel the Ravens came to him and was like, all right, bro, you want a $200 million contract? We got you. Guaranteed right here. Over 8 years. Which, in that case, would mean 25, maybe $28 million a year guaranteed.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Automatically, yeah.
And a lot of, so I'm pretty sure they came to him and was like, you can't stay healthy. We'll give you $200 million. We'll give you the long term. So $200 million guaranteed all out of a $480 million contract over 8 years. That's a lot of incentive-based money that's just sitting there hoping that the team address their offensive line, which I still have not seen them do, but they go out and pay $15 million for Walton. Not washed up. An old,
30-some-odd,
hurt 31-year-old wide receiver, 2 ACLs.
On bended knees. Literally.
Like boys to men. They haven't addressed the offensive line. Everyone in Baltimore keeps talking about this run game. I have not seen it.
You have?
When Lamar's running, maybe. And when JK first came into the league, yeah. But after an injury or two.
That's the problem. It's not even that they have a bad run game. They can't keep their committee healthy. So it's not just Lamar. It's Gus Edwards. He tore his ACL, so he was struggling coming back. JK, love him. I love him. He's great.
Every position player or specialty player on the Ravens at some point tends to go out with some sort of non-contact injury. An ankle, a hammy, a groin, something. But yet it's Lamar's fault. So I feel like that's where it fell. I feel Lamar was fine with a 5-year, $200 million deal because that would have made him the top paid quarterback in the league at that moment. Like one that just signed for his deal. Which I'm pretty sure Lamar's camp is talking, we need to just take this right to the Ravens and go for it.
It's so funny you bring that up because I remember when this deal, and we'll get to this in a quick second, I remember when this deal happened, and I said the price just went up.
All the way up.
The first thing out of my mouth, the price just went up. The problem is the leverage has dropped.
Of course.
The leverage is just getting steeper and steeper.
But again, that is sign the man to get him on the franchise deal this year.
Was that this $32 million, right?
32 mil. He'll show you or show the Ravens just how much the Ravens needs him. And then next year, it's going to be 300 guaranteed. Mark my words.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Mark my words when I'm saying it. Look, it's Raven fans. Y'all either got two situations in this. Either it's a Super Bowl and pay Lamar, or it's a bust and Lamar's price tag goes down. But either way, I don't see it working out. You'll win a Super Bowl, at least make it to the playoffs. Lamar's gone because y'all not going to afford him. You just gave $15 million to a washed up. Or, like I said, y'all don't sniff the playoffs as you've done most years before Lamar, minus Anquan Bolden. And I ain't going to say Joe Flacco. I'm going to say Anquan Bolden.
That's what matters the most.
Thank you.
That's the biggest one that everyone's ticked off that they let get away.
Thank you.
That's like have you ever talked about free agents that the Ravens or that Ravens fans wish they would have had?
History repeats. History repeats.
It would have absolutely been that. But I'm gonna make this last point.
Exactly.
And then we jumping.
Yes.
So I don't agree that they have a bad run game. I think the run game is great. It's just injuries. Like they're hurt.
How are they great? How do you use a great word?
No.
If they're injured. And
no,
if they
because
are,
you're thinking the way you are presenting your point, it's as if their run game sucks. Like it's just not good. Like,
are they sub 15?
I don't believe so. I believe they were right around 15, at least 13 or 12.
Keep talking. We'll bring this up for you right now.
While I'm based off that, I think that.
And I'm talking running backs, not Lamar.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Because when they were running the ball with Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, they were killing it, and then they would stop in that second half. They always stopped for whatever reason and decided we're going to try to cruise or we're going to start throwing the ball when they don't need to. And that's always been their problem. That's been their problem the last 4 years. That's been their issue. And I need this stat to come up because I want to know.
All right, you ready for this, you guys?
Let's hear it.
Out of all of last year, the highest or the most yards recorded by a running back was from your boy J.K. Dobbins. You know how many he picked up last year?
Like 400, 500?
520.
Okay.
Then, of course, you had your boy, well, not your boy, but
Edwards, you talking about
Gussie Boy, who you just was talking about. What do you think he was at?
Yeah, I know his was low.
430.
Yeah.
Now, keep in
that's
mind,
about
you forgot Kenyon was there, too.
Oh, I did.
For another 400.
I did. Oh.
That's
about 1,400, 1,300.
1,300?
Roughly.
The quarterback that they aren't willing to pay had 864 yards on his legs alone all year. Alone. So he's almost tripling, or at least
he's at least
picking up 3/4 of what the whole Ravens running back did.
So out of the three backs, he's at least accounting for 2 of the 3.
You don't use great. Matter of fact, you don't even use good with anything under 1,000-yard running back.
Okay.
For a team that has a stack of them.
If we on that break, so would it be okay if it was between 900 to 1,000, or it has to be 1,000 to be great?
I mean, if you have a one back that's really toting it, so if JK can come out with that 800-900, yeah. But that's the thing, they don't have a toter. They switch, and like you said, they don't know what to do. They go in and out. They switch it, end up fucking themselves over. It happens.
I'm hoping Todd Monken.
But you can't use the word great when your quarterback's basically running for you.
All right, shut me right on up.
So pay him minus the incentive-laden deal, or back to, what is that, 4-12? Maybe 4-13, 4-14?
You talking about that year they were like, oh, was that 05? They were like, boo-boo.
Boo-boo.
Yeah, that was a bad year.
But no, enough about these bum Ravens, bro.
I'm about to switch it.
One kid should have signed his deal. The other one did. It is now the highest paid quarterback in this league. Player in this league. So I just want to give him his flowers for that.
Mr. Jalen Hurts.
Yes,
Come
sir.
on down, brother. This man just signed in this past week. He signed a $255 million deal for 5 years with 171 guaranteed.
Ooh. So that's a deal.
That's a big deal. And it was his signing bonus was 23 million.
23 and some change.
23 and some change. Yeah,
A
little bit over 23 million.
But then again, that also shows me that it's not an incentive-laden deal as well. That's truly guaranteed.
That's the other part. His incentives can push that 255 million up to 270.
Yep. Lamar just needs an agent. I'm sorry, bro. Call me. Call me.
That's probably the biggest one.
But man, look. Okay, so I'm happy for Jalen because the kid, in a matter of 4 to 5 years, goes from being benched in college, big game, champion game.
Boy get put in for?
For Mackie Boy, for Mac 10. But yes, gets benched, goes to another school just to be a starter, gets drafted to the league. Keep in mind, Philly, y'all talking all this Jalen Hurts, this stuff now. Y'all did not like the kid or want the kid for a year and a half. Let's be real.
Yeah, they didn't. That first, when he got drafted, the amount of boos that rained down in Philly and those who were in attendance was crazy.
It was nasty. Very, very, very sad.
And they were sick of it. They didn't like him. Even in the first year they made playoffs where they faced the Bucks in 2020, because that's the year they won. He looked bad, and they're like, trade him, get rid of him. He sucks. And the franchise backed him, like, nah, like, this is our quarterback. We just need to get him some help, give him another. He needs it. That's all he needs. He just needs another.
And after doing it, that's it. Y'all see what happened, right? Now, I'm happy for him. So happy for him. What concerns me, though, are some of the other moves the team is making. We'll get to that a little later.
Yeah.
We'll get into the. I know the Eagles fans, y'all been calling in and texting us and DMing us about a lot of the mess the organization's doing right now in the coaching department. So yeah, we'll get into that later. But back to Jalen, I just want to give him his flowers. Continue to give him his flowers. That right there is a story of hard work.
That's because he made a big jump.
Bro,
you went from
you still playing
card,
for a team that don't like you.
You went from wild card in your third year, because this past year was the fourth one, right? Yeah. Your third year or second year, you were wild card. Fast forward another year, after they get you AJ Brown, you make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Great overall team, but an amazing offense.
Yep, very much so.
An amazing offense, and you did what needed to be done to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Came very close to winning it, didn't, but that's life.
Super Bowl. It's a whole different breed. Just that you were there.
The fact that you made
in your rookie deal was nasty.
Number 1 seed and all. Most number 1 seeds get booted.
I mean, then again, with a gas guzzler of a team, as you said. So
nasty, but
so congratulations, brother man. Glad you got it. I want to see good football. Keep going. I don't know about your Eagles though. Y'all gonna have some issues.
We'll get to that later on in the season of this show because we'll get to y'all. Trust us.
But
so let's take a little travel. We still in PA.
No, we're in Baltimore, but let's take that trip up 83.
You want to go to Baltimore because you want to talk about?
No, we're in Baltimore already.
No, I'm saying
we just going up 83.
Oh, you want? Oh, you taking?
Yeah. Because Lamar, I gotta come back and get my Baltimore in before I get to Pittsburgh. I can't do too much Pennsylvania in one.
I ain't trying to go to Pittsburgh, but
I can't do too much.
We gotta go for a good fight.
I gotta get a little Baltimore in between trips. So yes, we left Philly. We back into Baltimore. I had to come get my chicken box. My 4 wings, fries, half salt, pepper, ketchup all over, dummy. That's what I had to get.
We stopped in Philly first because I can get my sub. I can get my good little steak sub. You feel me? And I know what they be calling them. Steak and cheese.
The Philly cheese steak, the cheese
whiz.
No.
I'm talking about, you know how people be talking about cheesesteak subs, and we'll say cheesesteak subs, but other people will say steak and cheese.
Yeah, that's Wisconsin.
Stay
over there, yo.
I be like, what?
Cheesesteak, bruh. Give me that Philly. Philly.
But let's hit
Pittsburgh.
To the
oily city.
The
Steel City. That's what it is. Yes, the shit.
The Steelers have signed Allen Robinson.
Ooh.
Yes, they signed Allen Robinson. He passed the physical. I believe it was yesterday. Passed the physical and signed. Traded to the Steelers from LA. The Rams are going to pay the $5 million on his contract. It's either 5 or 10. I'm sorry if I'm getting the numbers confused, but 5 or 10 million of that contract, and Philly.
Picks up the rest.
They'll pick up the rest, but
that's a good match for them, or pick for them. I like Allen Robinson
if they use him right, and I don't need him to go because like when he was with the Rams, they didn't have him doing underneath stuff. They had him trying to be an over the top dude, and it's not that he's not fast, but that's not for you.
Well,
that's not.
Why would you go pick up a veteran wide receiver with multiple years of 1,000+ yards if you're not going to use him throughout your offense to help your rookie or sophomore quarterback? I don't see him doing anything that happened in LA.
Yeah, no.
Everything is
because their whole scheme is entirely different.
Yep.
Don't run.
What scares me though, I feel like I hope they don't misuse him in the sense of having him block too much, because next thing you know, by week 6, he's on the bench, injured.
Yeah, because the knees and ankles is not what they used to be. Yeah, I would just have him in my intermediate section. That's where I would have him. You're a big body. Use it. You know what I'm saying? I'd use you in the red zone. I'll use you when I need you on a 3rd and 5. You can run a little slam route. Boom. You're a big body. Use it.
Especially for Kenny Pickett. I love Kenny.
And Kenny gonna put it on you. Kenny gonna put it right on the numbers.
Bruh. All you do is just stay on your route and follow him through. If it collapsed, the pocket collapsed back there and you see it, just follow him. Kenny gonna find a way out and find you. Like, coming from a Patriot fan, I have never had a quarterback that moves out the pocket. So when I see one that's able to do it consistently and do it in such a graceful manner, aka Lamar, why I banged with him so much, aka Russ, why I banged with him so much, but definitely Kenny Pickett now. Ain't no other quarterback that I could say that. Not Kyler Murray and his pit-pat, not Josh Allen and his none of that, not Tua and his half sleepy times, none of that. Kenny Pickett is going to be nasty, and I do believe with Allen Robinson as the vet mind, the Steelers going to go to the draft and pick up
a golden receiver.
4 golden receivers.
Out of nowhere.
Trade away 2 just to get another.
Yep.
That's what they do when I can't even get 1 good receiver in a draft.
Oh, good Lord, yeah.
But that's what they do best in Pittsburgh. So I see them with that veteran and Allen Robinson picking up a couple in this deep wide receiver draft. Picking them up, bruh. For the future, you'll see Kenny Pickett just like Ben Roethlisberger.
But Pittsburgh, somehow, even if they can't get what they need, they still find a way to win.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin set them boys up for as much success as humanly possible, and they still managed to win. And I'm not saying Allen Robinson is going to have that same type of success that A.J. Brown had with Philly, but I can see that type of connection between Kenny and Allen Robinson. As long as, just like you said, they don't misuse him.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Steelers are a run-first team no matter what. They're going to run the ball.
Put him in a slot. I hate when these teams decide, let me go get a receiver that's a vet, but continue to have them play their specific section. I look at it like this. The thing that makes you a veteran in anything you do is the knowledge you obtain. Correct?
That's true.
You can walk in today and be like, oh, I know it all. I should be a vet. But when you sit down and actually talk to somebody that's been through the meadows, that bring you back to reality. Again, snap back to reality. Up there goes gravity. It's like a hitch and hook right there. You realize at that point, nah, you know what? I'm just a rook in this sense. So when you bring a veteran outside receiver, right, onto a team with a young quarterback still trying to be able to fully read the inside, you would think and hope that the veteran, being that they start on the outside, knows outside in. So they know how all these coverages would look against them as they're lining up. Why not move them into the inside? Move that knowledge into the inside.
Because you're either going to you're either gonna be followed by probably not even the number one, because I think their number one is Deontay Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
So he won't even get. That's the other part. He
won't
even get the number one. So he'll get that nickel corner, who's usually speedy but small.
At the most, they're gonna be double nickel and a safety. I will still take a one receiver, Allen Robinson, Justin Jefferson, somebody like that, putting them in a slot, taking 1v1 or taking a double coverage against.
He's their number one.
That's kind of what it would look like, though. Yes,
Okay.
Cooper is not a one, in my opinion. Just like I love me some Wes Welker.
So you're saying the Rams don't necessarily have a one?
They don't.
They just utilize Cooper that way, so it
Odell was their one.
Really?
Odell, in my honest opinion, was their one. Everything I saw him do in deep nines, deep posts, comebacks, or when he would stay within 5, it's a screen. That's a one. That's an outside receiver. A 2, slants, little curls. Cross routes, exactly. Drags and digs and stuff like that. Now, a slot, as all of that's working, 9 goes, opens the top. 2 goes, slant, opens the side, or at least moves the linebacker. All right, I'm as a veteran slot, boom, option, wop, take in. All right, they move it in, take out, cool. Oh, the safety moving with 9, cool. I'm just going up the seam, bop. That's what a veteran is. But that's why I'm like, put him in the slot because he's a true one. But you can't take a Cooper Kupp and put him against that outside coverage in double. You can't take a Wes Welker, who was the Patriots' true one as a slot. But you can't take a Wes Welker and put him outside and expect him to beat your 1 or 2 D-back with safety help. That's what I'm getting at. You see? So it's like, if they can get something of that sense, kind of move it around, and with Allen Robinson, that's what I feel he should be. The one that's going to, as soon as Kenny drops, goes through his reads, doesn't see, I come back. There's two positions I want to look for. My tight end or my running back. Those are my dumps. As I go through my read, boom, tight, run. If I'm, as a running team, playing a 12 or 13, and I'm leaving my tight end in, why wouldn't I want Allen Robinson on a little delayed slant? Go through, wow, easy. Why would? You see? That's where I'm at.
It's going to be about how Pittsburgh uses
Coach them up, fellas.
I mean, Pittsburgh knows how to use their wide receivers, so that's the other thing. Like, it's not like you're going to a team that has no clue how to utilize their wide receivers properly.
Agreed.
So,
and they've done it for years. I just love the coaching that Pittsburgh really gives.
And that boy Mike Tomlin.
Bruh. And everybody early in his career, they were Mike Tomlin this, Mike Tomlin that, players coach. He don't know much. All he's done is put together consistent winning series.
All he's done is win.
Every
Man
year.
knows how to win.
And it's more than I can say for a lot of these other coaches in the league, Matt Patricia.
You know, that's very true. And since we're on the topic of head coaches. All of you know, because the coaching carousel is come and gone forever ago, that there are 5 new head coaches in the NFL for this upcoming season. Cardinals, who have, John Gannon. Denver, Sean Payton. Everybody knows who Sean Payton is, and if you don't, just look up the Saints. We got Houston, DeMarco Ryans. And if you watched football, you know that name because that man was a hitter.
It's D'Amico.
D'Amico? Did I say DeMarco?
I was not. I'm about to say.
I apologize.
We are not
sir.
DeMarco Murray.
You don't
over
deserve that disrespect.
Here. Run that back, Mr.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Marco. He gonna get you
My
back
bad.
again.
I'm sorry. D'Amico Ryan. I'm so sorry. I feel bad about that. D'Amico Ryan, hard hitter. Okay, is now the Houston Texans.
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Former linebacker for the Texans. He is now their head coach.
Sounds like Gerard Mayo next year.
That's the hope.
Okay.
An old NFL coach is now with a new home after taking a little break. Frank Reich is the Panthers head coach.
Yes.
People forgot about that. I forgot about that.
I like it.
He is now their new head coach. And to top it all off, his former team, the Colts, have now signed Shane
Steichen.
I'm about to say, I scribbled his last name. That's why I couldn't read it. Shane Steichen. Steichen as well as Gannon are both former coordinators for the Eagles. So
as you see, this whole show kind of falls back in with the Eagles. It's funny. It's like all intertwined. The Eagles was doing a lot last year and a lot in the off season. It's all coming in together.
So now that I've named these 5 new head coaches, my question to you, Sir Nick, which coach do you think is going to have the biggest impact on their team?
Well, chap. Sir
Tell me,
Nick.
good boy.
Telling me, good boy. Well, chap. This is fun. I love the list. Quite frankly, 1 through 5, I think all of them will have some sort of impact. But in order for me to redeem myself from my last season's takes, there's only one coach I am hoping and praying brings nothing but winning to this team.
And who might that be?
It's a little cold state up there in the mountains of America. The Denver Broncos and Sean Payton's arrival. Lord have mercy. Oh, if y'all remember last season, right? I was so, and I don't know, you gave me so much flack about it. I was so high on Denver all season. Denver and Vegas, number 2. Denver and Vegas, y'all made me look horrible. Okay? Now, I really do trust Sean Payton sitting a year or 2 out, studying, chilling, really getting acclimated with this generation of football.
I think that's what he was doing. He got to actually.
That's what Matt McCarthy did.
He got to sit and watch. He wasn't worried about what his team had to do and who he had to get together for the new season. He got to sit and actually watch all these new kids, all this new talent, this new generation, and their style of play. Yeah. So I think that's a great beneficial.
I mean, all he said with that notion was, okay, cool. I'm just going to go to a team with old fucks all around and win. Sounds quintessential to the Patriot way. I trust Sean Payton's going to bring back his old days of coaching, those Drew Brees days, early Drew days, when fresh, coming from
San
Diego Chargers at that point, you guys, like fresh and young, groomed Drew. Keep in mind, everybody did not like Drew. No arm, was too small. Horrible pocket presence.
Coming off of a big injury.
No one gave him anything.
He had surgery. They didn't even think he was supposed to play again. He comes back. He comes to New Orleans amidst the because that wasn't the same year that that Katrina hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Superdome finally opened, and that was like what 05,
04,
something like that.
All I know is that Kanye and George Bush were not on good terms in those years. So
that was a great interview. That's great.
But I mean, bro, that's kind of where it is in the sense of things. I think Sean Payton, and especially Denver, still got a defense, so I think Sean Payton will do well, and I think he'll bring the most winning just because he has a squad to come to, and he already has the arsenal. Now I don't know what the deal was with them. Apparently, Denver Broncos did release their GM, John Elway.
Yeah, his contract was up, and they just chose not to renew.
I think that's mainly on the decisions of what happened last year.
With you talking about with Russ,
Nathaniel Hackett and Russ, and what made the shit show of last year in Denver. But watch, and don't call me stupid, or don't look at me crazy when it's December and I'm right. When Denver is sitting right behind Kansas City in the West.
I'm glad you said sitting behind. I'm glad you said that. Because
if you want to say sitting behind, y'all gonna be sitting behind a whole shitload this year. So don't come for Denver like that. Please. Don't come for him. I'm not a Denver fan.
That is not even the same situation. That's not even the same situation.
Wins and losses are all the same situations.
Wins and losses are, but the state of the team are totally different.
Okay. So explain to me the state of the Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, because you got players, one, wanting their money, the team saying no. You got players going to social media talking to disrespect about the team. You got you got Brown, AJ Brown.
Brown from the
Brown
from the Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown talking about the Buccaneers and Brady.
Like he got CTE out the ass. Don't nobody want to hear what he got.
But you want to talk about the state of an organization, my friend.
I just
talk about the state of your organization.
What
happened to your boy? Why he's so pissed about not getting his contract?
Because
explain to the people. I'm sure they don't know.
Look, the salary cap is dog shit.
No. Explain to them who we're talking about, of why we're talking about it.
Look,
of which shit bucket team he wants to go back to, and why they're saying no. Fill the people in. We know. They don't know. Fill them. I'm listening.
So I harped on it last week.
Yeah.
I griped about it last week. Devin White wants out. He wants to be traded. He wants, I guess to be, not I guess. He wants to be paid. That's what it is. He wants to be paid, and that's not happening. I don't know if you saw, there was a story, Tristan Wirfs came out and said something.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like nothing extremely crazy. But he spoke the truth. A lot of these players, they won that Super Bowl. He said it. It's a blessing and a curse. Because some of these players took it and thought they were hot shit. And that they're untouchable and that they're great. And that mindset is what drove them to the season they had, where they made it to, who did they play and lost to? The Rams. And it came down to the last play
Stop selling your players' dreams if y'all gonna treat them like Bill Belichick.
Who's treating them like Bill Belichick? They treating
I
themselves.
said stop selling them dreams if you're gonna treat them like it.
Oh,
Stay in the organization.
Look, regardless, fact of the matter is, there are disgruntled players. There's gonna be disgruntled players everywhere. But right now, our disgruntled players or player is Devin White, and you're not getting out of your contract, buddy. You're stuck. You're stuck for at least 2 years. Stuck for this season and next season. So let it be. The other issue is we ain't got no quarterback because Bakey Bake Cakes ain't it.
Yeah, Bakey Bake Cakes. He said it.
As much as I
baking the cake as fresh as he can.
Kyle, as much as I have hope for Kyle Trask, let's be honest. It's
he
very.
He needs time.
If
Brady was still playing, maybe.
He's had this is his third year.
This is year 3.
This is year 3. You sat behind them for 2 years. Great. I'm glad you did it. But he's gonna have to show it. And come training camp, OTs, all of that. You're gonna have to show what you've learned, put pencil to paper, and show up and beat out Baker Mayfield. Because Baker Mayfield, I'm not gonna call him a winner, but he wins starting jobs.
That's only because he was drafted first.
That's literally
overall.
That's literally why he shouldn't have even been there. But that's beside the point.
And had commercials. That's it. Sorry, Bakes. I love you, man, but
sleeping on Progressive over there, sleeping on the stadium and whatnot.
I'm sorry. He made so many people in Cleveland mad. Ooh, speaking of people in a state mad, and we should have talked about that when we were there earlier. I'm sorry, Cleveland, Philly. I'm sorry. I did hear some news about a coach the Chargers picked up. I wanna personally give my condolences. One,
good luck.
As we're gathered here today, where we talk about the death of the winning of the Philadelphia Eagles, we bring to the table the truth of the matter that why in the hell would y'all pick up Matt Patricia as any type of anything? Assistant, coach, coach's assistant of the coach's son? Why?
Matt Patty Whack, he is trash.
And during his signing, right? You know what Philly's stupid GM decided to say?
What did he say?
As the reason behind the signing?
What were the words?
Well, Matt Patricia's resume speaks for itself.
He hasn't had a resume since, what was the first stint with y'all?
2015 when he won.
2015.
As a defensive coordinator.
It's almost 10 years ago. We're almost 10 years.
All I know is that you have 3 years as a failed head coach in a team that was defensive and had a squad. You literally killed that organization.
You literally stripped all of the great players that they had away. Darius Slade, prime example.
They had a squad, bro. Detroit.
You ruined it.
If you would have given Dan Campbell the squad Detroit had then,
yeah, because he still he had Matt Stafford.
NFC Championship.
He had Matt Stafford. You had your quarterback.
Calvin Johnson
was Calvin. I think Calvin Johnson.
He just retired.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Retired.
But they picked up the kid with the kid. We're gonna get that information for you. But yes, back to the Matty P thing. I just don't see it. Defensive, special teams, whatever. Apparently, he was picked up for a defensive assistant coach, coordinator, or assistant to the coordinator. Basically, means he's following around the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's carrying his jock strap.
That's a bad omen.
Everywhere Matt Patricia has gone since he left his first stint with New England, he's been trash. He's been garbage. He's been an absolute dumpster fire.
Shit show.
Okay,
I'll say it for you.
It's been bad.
He won't. I'll say it for you. He's been a shit show.
But I just felt like I could give you a bunch of different adjectives to explain. That's just how bad it is.
Bar talk right now.
Like, that's just how bad this shit is, and it doesn't make any sense. So I don't even understand why you're gonna hire him. Why is what does Matt Patricia bring to the table for?
That's what I need Philly fans really to reach out to us for real. Let us know what y'all think the reasoning was, because I can't even. Bro, I've 420 today. You know what that means. I've sat down all day with multiple yiffies, getting my some done.
That's probably what they did when they signed him. That's probably what they did when they signed him. They sat down at the coffee table, said,
roll one up, let it
You want to hire somebody? Yeah, who can we hire?
I'm Matt Patricia.
You sure you want to do that?
Oh yeah, nigga, why not?
He was with the Patriots. I guess we could do
His resume speaks for itself.
And y'all didn't even give no in-depth description on what he does. What does he bring? Tell me what he brings. What in his resume speaks for itself? What part of it?
Look,
because not the last 10 years.
Can I be honest, Philly fans? Listen, when you don't give Matt Patricia a specific job, he's a free roamer. And the one thing that killed Detroit when he was the coach is that Matt thinks he knows it all and wants to be in everything. He's not Bill Belichick, okay? Nowhere near it. Bill's even pissing me off with that situation now. But that's a different conversation.
It is what it is.
Matt P likes free roam. You give him free roam, he'll be on the offensive line trying to coach stuff up.
Yeah,
you tell me, Philly fans, if y'all want to see that come week 7.
You know,
I'm not. I don't get it.
That's cool. We're not going to get it. We're not. I don't think we're meant to understand it because we are logic. We think logically.
And I'm semi-sober right now.
So that's that on that for that head coach. Before we jump on to the draft, because that's what's up next for you guys is the draft. I never did get to tell y'all who I feel is going to have the biggest head coach impact. And I think it's going to be Frank Reich for the Carolina Panthers. And I'm going to tell you why. They've bolstered their offense. Okay? I'm not saying it's phenomenal, but they bolstered it because they're going to get a young, good quarterback in this draft. Now, if I remember correctly, Frank Reich also coached a young quarterback over in Indy.
That's correct.
And that man's name was Andrew Luck. Now, I'm not comparing these rookies that's coming in to Andrew Luck, but Frank Reich has the experience to work with these young quarterbacks and develop them to the pro level.
He also has the experience to hurt them in their career in 5 years.
Was that him, or was that the fact that they didn't have an offensive line for that man?
I was just
that's for the management.
I was just throwing out a question.
I get it. I'm just saying that's not his fault. He worked with what was given to him, and they still won games.
Oh, they were scary.
Still won 12 games and won a playoff game. They beat the Chiefs that year, and that was the year where that one play where the running back fumbles it and he scoops it up. I think they came back from like 25 or 28 points down.
Jonas Gray went for 300 on it or 200 on
something it. Like I believe so, something like that.
But yes, I know.
But yes, that was he scoops it up and dives it in for the touchdown to tie the game. Like that was a great game. And Frank Reich has coached them like that for nearly every year. I think he has maybe 1 or 2 bad years with the Colts. I don't even think when he got fired, he had a bad year.
Okay. As I was saying, I'm a fan of Frank Reich. I agree with what you're saying. I'm a fan of Frank Reich, and I don't really put Frank Reich's bad years in Indy on him for these reasons. One, again, I don't know what it is with that team. I have not seen an offensive line since Marvin Harrison was 23.
Damn. I had to think about that for a second. Damn.
Which will put us in like maybe 07.
07, something like that, 06, 07.
And we played the Colts every year. My man Berger was a Colts fan. Football player at Randallstown. Colts fan. Heavy Colts fan. Still a Colts fan. I'm sorry, but still a Colts fan. And it's like, bruh, they never had a line since back in the day. So Andrew Luck did what he had to do, but still came out and winning 13 games with Frank Reich. I like that.
Yeah.
That was big.
And Frank Reich is in the same situation where you're in a terribly depleted NFC South.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Where it's a toss of the coin of who's gonna win, right? All he needs, don't look at me like that. All he needs is his quarterback.
So that's the question. If it ain't Bryce, I'm not picking. I'm not saying Frank Reich has anything to do. We gonna get Anthony Richardson? That's his style of quarterback.
God, you better not. That bet not be the number 1 pick in that.
So let's do this. So clearly we're both. I got Sean Payton as one of the coaches, new hires that'll probably have the most impact. You have Frankie Boy.
Yes, I do.
Unfortunately, Denver don't pick in the top half of this draft. First 4.
Which is surprising considering.
How
well, you know
shitty they
what?
were.
It's because of that Russell trade.
Boom.
It's because of that Russell trade. But anyway.
But I do want to talk about what you were just moving on, bro. Them Carolina Panthers and your boy Frankie Frank. This is my question. Carolina, for the draft, right now, sitting at, well, between all the mock drafts we've seen, anywhere between 1 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Consistently 2 and 3. Who are they getting? You talking about they're just missing a quarterback. One quarterback. What quarterback are you saying Carolina's willing to pick up? And where are they picking them up to start?
So Carolina's not moving back out of that number 1 spot. Like that's their slot. They're not moving back. I don't care what any of these mock drafts
everyone's agreeing.
Yeah, I don't know what MJD number 1 because you're the one that flipped them. I don't understand.
Can we just break down 2 seconds? MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew, most formerly known as the beast running back from old school Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. Yeah, you
funny, bro.
Crazy.
You really was enjoying 420 for sure.
Nah, for real. So we got the mock drafts right here, okay? This is his top 4, his mock draft, okay? Carolina stays at number 1. They take Anthony Richardson. Absolutely not.
What?
Absolutely not. Florida Gators, Anthony Richardson goes number 1. The man who completed 53% of his passes in college. That is who you have going number 1. You're crazy. You crazy. I'm not just assume you did that for clickbait. Because there's no way you truly believe
Someone was bored. They boss came in and was like, look, bro, I need a nice fluff piece by the end of the day. Get it done.
And Anthony Richardson was the first thing that popped into your head.
Now, but okay, so that's the thing though. I like Anthony Richardson. He isn't bad he's not bad at all.
No.
But I personally think he's one of the quarterbacks on the list that has the most upside, but it's going to take time. He's not ready to start.
No.
You're going to be looking at a Trey Lance situation if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. But if I'm Carolina, I think I'm taking C.J. Stroud.
You want Stroud?
I want Stroud. Because Stroud may not be as developed as a quarterback as Bryce Young is, but he still has every bit of those intangibles. And his IQ, contrary to popular belief, from the reports I've heard from numerous NFL insiders, his IQ is through the roof. His ability to diagnose what goes on in the football field is a lot higher than what many believe. And I believe with a coach like Frank Reich, we can take that to the next level. Because he can help you understand the full nuances of what it is to be an NFL quarterback. What you're looking at, what you're observing, what you need to scheme and what you need to change when you see certain defenses in certain sets. So
I hear you.
C.J. Stroud can be that guy.
I hear you.
And how tall is he? 6?
Something. 6'2", probably.
I think that height just a little bit matters, just a little bit for the quarterback. It's not crazy because we all know how Drew Brees was. But C.J. Stroud is my number 1 pick. I like what I've heard about the kid, and I like what I've seen because he can make all the throws.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. But what all you're saying is that you have another quarterback with potential upside, but still needs some time to grow and learn. Right?
But that's every quarterback. But go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh no, that's definitely every quarterback. But week 1 of OTAs and chalkboard sessions, it's totally different from week 1 of preseason of regular season. What they're able to tell you, they see on tape, or how they would go about an offense in shorts, it's totally different from when pads is on and the speed doubles. Okay? I like CJ. Trust me, I love the kid to death. Quite frankly, he's my 3rd favorite quarterback in this draft.
3rd favorite.
There are 2 more that I put above him. Of course, Brycey boy. And my old boy Willie.
You putting Will Levis over him?
Yes, Will Levis.
What
and this is the issue. This is the reason why. And I'm looking at, if I'm drafting you so high, first round, I can care more or I can care less about, I'm not going to put it that way. I care just as much about your potential upside as I do about your ready to play and knowledge into game today. Remember as we were talking, and y'all remember as we were talking earlier about being a veteran in this league. Being a veteran is not necessarily what you know, but how much you've seen. Correct?
Correct.
Coming from organizations as Kansas and Alabama to offensive organizations that allow their quarterbacks to read the field, to make decisions and adjustments as they see pre-snap. That's the NFL. All right? A lot of the other schools, your Oregons and your Carolinas and your Georgias, Auburns, your Lamar Jackson style schools, great athletes.
LSU.
Oh my God, LSU.
Yeah, when you say
great athletes. But the way they run the college system is like they're a step beneath the foundational knowledge of football. When I have a quarterback that's given the okay to read what they see on the defense, right? See what they're seeing, defensive line, safety, linebacker, corners, cool. All right, audible to a specific play. That means as the quarterback, they're knowledgeable of not just what I give them in call on a spreadsheet. They're knowledgeable as to how teams want to attack, what teams would think our tendencies are as an offense, and how they would want to attack that. How, if this breaks down, where my options are before me even leaving this section. Everything's done here first. When you go to those other schools, you're here, and then next thing you know, the athlete comes out. Now, I'm not saying that CJ and Anthony can't be better. Can't be Super Bowl contending, can't be MVP star, top-notch quarterbacks in this league. Because I'm pretty sure they can the way the league is going today. All I'm saying is that week 1, with draft pick 1, 2, 3, or 4, I'm looking for somebody that's I can put into practice 7v7s or 11 on 11 and say, all right, run the offense we practice all week. And as a defensive coordinator, I expect my D coordinator to switch it up on them.
Show them stuff.
Show them stuff. That's the thing. When we, in Wednesday, Thursday, run the offense we've been practicing. Defensive coordinator showed them something they ain't never seen. I'd rather, oh shit, I'm just going to dump it off because that helps me scheme around instead of, I'm just going to tuck this down and run. Because next thing you know, come week 13, you out with 2 ankles.
Well, that's fine, but can we really say that about all the Bama's quarterbacks?
No.
Or just specific ones? So I'll put Bryce Young and your boy Mac Jones in the same category as far as IQ goes, right? Like I'll put them there.
Mm-hmm.
Tua does not get that same gratitude from me.
Mm.
Tua is one of those ones where I'm like, it's like you went to the same school. You learned under the same tree with the same group of guys. Mm-hmm. And you still struggle with certain defenses. You struggle with a cover 2 shell defense.
Oh, and that's about one of the easiest to pick up. It does not move.
No. But because those linebackers then drop back into the space that he can throw it, he can't diagnose where he needs to go. He still throws it over the middle, which is why they went on a string where they lost.
Or he runs
and gets slept and gets knocked out.
He gets sleeps. He runs and gets sleeps.
So it's like, I get your point, and that makes sense, but that might not transfer over as well as you think it might.
I mean, I'm pretty sure because you just look at the one that just got paid, another Alabama quarterback who was only there for a year and a half.
Purpose, right? And
it's like, okay, under Saban, you have to be smart. If not, you're going to get drafted to the Dolphins.
Yeah,
They have. It's just what it is.
There is that.
I just don't like the Dolphins. Sorry, I just shot at the Dolphins.
Fair point.
Name me one quarterback today, mobile as they started, that is not slowing down and looking to adjust.
Mobile as they started.
Because you see your boy Josh Allen even said he needs to rethink about
Because that was the first point that kept popped in my head was Josh Allen. Josh Allen was literally about to be, well, Josh Allen's still out here.
Recently just came out and said, I need to rethink my game. There's no way. Matter of fact, I'll bring up his quote. His actual quote about him running. This was a week or so ago. And he was basically saying how he needs to change the way he does things because he knew after his injuries last year, after trying to be Superman, ain't no white Superman,
that he had to make some.
Exactly.
Because what was it? Something with his elbow, right?
Yes, he had tons.
Or he had plenty of them, but like that's the main one that was the most recent injury during the season that everybody remembers the most.
So yeah, he had a partially torn collateral ligament. What is this? That's this thing. That's this thing.
That's back here.
Yeah, that's this thing. That's the thing that turns. Yeah, so he basically said, came out and said when asked during this week's trainings in Buffalo, came out and said that yes, I've really done some thinking and realized that I need to change or at least adjust the way that I play so that I can be with my guys longer.
So he even knew
I can't continue to run.
Yeah.
Without Brian Daboll, the Bills are shit.
You know what? I'm sitting here like going through like the list of teams and quarterbacks. There's not a crazy amount of like mobile, like run first quarterbacks in the league like that.
I'm talking.
Y'all can move your leg. You can use your legs to.
But I'm not even going to
real...
break it down as dumb as that. Broaden it up a little. We don't have to be true mobile. What are quarterbacks throughout the last 15 years that can give you 150? That's 100 in the air and at least 50 on the ground.
Right now, if I'm just talking.
Still in the league.
Kyler's
Russ.
Russ. Well, I don't put Russ in that category just because he just doesn't run anymore, which goes to your point. But I'm just saying, like, he wouldn't be on my list of names where you say 150. He's just one, and plus he's old.
But he's still
dusty.
But plus he's old when your quarterback played till 87.
I'll take it.
You see what I'm getting at? I'd rather, if I'm looking at you in the draft today, the intangible that I want should be here first. I can teach everything else. That's where I am. So quite frankly, Brycey Boy goes first for me, bro. I'm sorry. There's no other quarterback better in this list.
And
Brycey Boy's first.
I don't think Will Levis is as high
as I'm putting him.
I don't think he's terrible, but
the organization he plays in puts him above. He puts him above your boy Anthony Richardson.
So would you say he goes to Indy, Levis?
I would love to see Levis in Indy. But quite frankly, I would love to see Bryce Young more so in Indy. It's not going to happen. I know it ain't happening. It'll be cute, though.
Could you, since we all are still going on about this draft, there have been talks that if they don't get Bryce, the Houston Texans may just kind of like drop back.
I heard
about that. I think that's dumb.
That's dumb.
I think that's dumb because at the end of the day, you still need your quarterback, and y'all don't have it. So why even settle to go back and probably end up having to take Anthony Richardson or somebody that you probably really don't want, as opposed to just taking the second best quarterback in that draft?
There's 3 they can get that I think can actually play today. Like I said, Bryce, if he's gone, go for Will. I know Will's going to drop. So remember in the next 4 or 5 years when Will's the next highest paid quarterback outside of Mac Jones, remember that. All right? And Anthony Richardson, those are the. I mean, no. It's C.J. Stroud. Anthony Richardson is the 4th on my book, just because has the most talent, but just is going to take the most time.
I want this quarterback to be higher on the list, and he's only not because of injury. He got hurt, and I like Hendon Hooker.
Ooh, Hooker.
I like Hooker, and I think If he goes to the right team and probably sits for that year or two or however long, depending on the team, I think he can be a great quarterback because he had a bomb, like you said before we got on here. He had a bomb junior year.
I like that.
And he just didn't get to finish out his senior year. So I feel like he's going to be a steal in this draft for whoever gets him.
So before we wrap this show up, I'm gonna fuck with you right quick. When do y'all pick?
19th.
If he falls, would you not? Think about, and I'm asking him as a Buccaneer fan. If he's in an organization, put on the hat of an organization of the GM in the Buccaneers. You're licky titty. You're titty licky. That's who you are. Put on the GM. If Hendon Hooker, who, like you said, I love the kid too. Love him. And I think, quite frankly, if he did not get injured, because he had one hell of a junior year, if he did not get injured, that would be two. It would be Bryce, Hendon, Will for me. But in God's green world, if Hendon drops to 19th, knowing the situation of the organizational dysfunction y'all in now, what are you thinking, GM? GM, J.
I'm
Moss
going to
Smith?
be honest. I've looked at this draft class,
Mm-hmm.
and they've got a lot of what we need. But if we're going to talk about best available, yes, I'm going to take Hendon Hooker. And I'm going to take him because...
At 19?
I'm going to take him for one of two reasons.
Okay.
One, we don't know what this quarterback draft class for the next year is going to be.
Shit. There's nothing coming out of college for at least the next couple of
And
years.
two, if I were to go off the strength of, we can wait till the later rounds, somebody else could be thinking, I'm going to jump up and I'm going to snag him, like the way that the Ravens jumped up to snag Lamar, because we knew Lamar was going to drop into the second round too, or at least drop to the Patriots.
And we moved back. We traded with the Ravens.
And they picked him up. So
fucking Bill Belichick.
I would take my quarterback because your quarterback is your franchise. Without a quarterback, you can't go nowhere.
So you really giving a 3-boat race, quarterback race in Tampa right now is what you're saying.
And I think the best available for what the Bucks need, because they need offensive line, but there's a good number of that.
Oh yeah, you can get that deep.
Draft. And I feel like that would be a
Talking
second
splash.
round.
I'm talking splash at 19.
Yeah.
If your quarterback for the future or of the future, it sounds like y'all don't really bang with Baker Mayfield, and it sounds like
We don't know
Kyle
what
Trask
Kyle
had
Trask
an
is yet.
exactly.
So we're still hanging out to dry with that. But you don't have you. We have time. We don't have time to sit here and figure out if Kyle Trask is the quarterback. Because if he's not this year, we're screwed.
And let's be
Because
honest,
Baker's not about to be there for too long.
financially, it will make sense for you. And where y'all are right now, cap space wise, to have at least multiple quarterbacks on a rookie deal.
Two of y'all on your rookie deal.
You can build your team around for the next 3 years, and hopefully one of them quarterbacks come out and do what they need to do. So
and
that
with Hooker being picked in the
first,
he's
you got
getting
the
that
fifth-year
option.
option.
And that 5th-year option will be clutch because I feel like it would take 2 to 3 years for him to fully develop like any quarterback.
Yeah. All right, well we're gonna keep an eye out on that one. We got the draft next week. Like I said, we're gonna wrap up the show today.
Yes.
We've talked about as much of the interesting news going on as we could find today. I mean, as he said, nothing but mock drafts.
Oh, before we close out, shout out Gerald McCoy. Retired after 11 seasons. I got to give you your props. 9 years with the Bucks. You ranked 3rd in tackles for loss with 79. You had 6 forced fumbles. You had 59.5 sacks, 54.5 with the Bucks, which puts you 4th all time. You also were a 6-time Pro Bowler.
Thank you for your
illustrious
service.
career. Love you for it. You did get disrespected because Ndamukong Suh should not have had your number, but there's nothing we can do about that.
That was
disrespectful.
Explain it.
So
Explain it
Ndamukong Suh. So Gerald McCoy wore number 93. Okay, that was his number. Played for us for 9 years. I read the stats off to you guys. Right. He leaves. And Ndamukong Suh comes in basically as his replacement.
Donkey Kong.
And immediately they give up his number. They didn't even say, "Hey, you can't have this number." They just gave it. They just gave his number away. They was just treating him like trash.
More to Tampa Bay's dysfunction.
Yeah. But shout out to you, Gerald McCoy. Enjoy your retirement. I'm sure you'll love every bit of it. You played great, and I respect you and wish you well.
Same here, bro. I mean, quite frankly, I've watched multiple games of yours. Not a fan, but a fan of how you are on the field. So keep doing it, bro. Glad you retired. You know, probably second ballot Hall of Fame for sure. First ballot Hall of Fame in Tampa. You should be the man, bro.
Definitely get a Ring of Honor.
Definitely get a Ring of Honor. And like
it'll be a little hard to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, his numbers are. If we were to look at his
give or
draft
take,
class,
yeah.
He's like the best
out
one
of here.
out of his
And
draft
that's why I'm getting at it. It'll be second or third out of the draft class. May be the case. But congratulations, bro. Enjoy your retirement. Thanks for your service all the years. America, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Jesus, and all of them beyond. We want to thank y'all for joining us today for another episode of the Hitch Hook Podcast.
Thank you.
We did it again. A lot of information as we was for the last hour and some change. A lot of information being brought to you, but it's information needed.
Yes. And look out for next week. We're going live, baby.
Yep.
We're going live on YouTube. We're going live on Facebook for the NFL draft this Thursday next week.
Yep.
We're going live for the first time.
Thursday, April 27th. It's the first night, round 1 of the NFL draft. We will be on at 8 p.m. on the dot. Please join us. Show face. Let us know who y'all thinking of picking up. We're going to talk about every team, every pick of the first round. Talk about who they picked up, who they're looking to pick up, maybe why they made that decision. It's going to be a fun show, but like you said, it's live, so we doing it live, baby.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have fun. It's going to be definitely a chill, so it's going to be a vibe for real. So we just want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. We will see y'all next week. Of course, we're your hosts. That's my man, J. Mar Smith.
And this is my boy, Nick Ransom.
We are the 2 best hosts ever. But of course, this is the Hitch Hook Podcast, the off-season edition. Draft night is next Thursday, April 27th. Join us. We'll see y'all then. Y'all be safe, all right?
Yes, sir.